production. Continuing on, vertical farming may completely eliminate the need to create extra farmland in rural areas along with in vitro meat. Their combined role may create a sustainable solution for a cleaner environment. One skeptic is Margaret Mellon of the Union of Concerned Scientists. The Union of Concerned Scientists. Okay. Who speculates that the energy... The Union of Concerned Scientists. That just sounds funny to me. Who speculates that the energy and fossil fuel requirements... Okay, starting over. One skeptic is Margaret Mellon of the Union of Concerned Scientists, who speculates that the energy and fossil fuel requirements of large-scale in vitro meat production may be more environmentally destructive than producing food off the land. Speculates that the energy and fossil fuel requirements of large-scale in vitro meat production may be more environmentally destructive than producing food off the land. Well, why does she think that? However, it has been indicated that both vertical farming in urban areas and the activity of in vitro meat facilities will cause very little harm to these species of wildlife that live around the facilities. So with vertical farming, you're going to need a lot of electricity. How are you going to use power this electricity? Most electricity is powered off fossil fuels. And anything using fossil fuels is not sustainable. So it makes no sense if you're trying to move towards a more sustainable answer to build something that's going to rely on a bunch of electricity that relies on fossil fuels. So you're really not building anything more sustainable if you're relying on fossil fuels. So she has a point there. Many natural resources will be spared from depletion due to the conservation efforts made by both vertical farming and in vitro meat, making them ideal technologies for an overpopulated world. Conventional farming, on the other hand, kills 10 wildlife animals per hectare each year. Conventional farming, on the other hand, kills 10 wildlife animals per hectare each year. What? Kills 10 wildlife? That sounds weird. 10? Only 10? Like, where do they get that number? Each year? 10 killed each year? Converting 10 acres of farmland from its man-made condition back into either pristine wilderness or grassland would save approximately 40 animals, while converting 2 acres of that same farmland back into the state it was prior to settlement by human beings would save approximately 80 animals. So that's one thing that sounds good, turning land back into its pristine state. Ethical considerations. So these are concerns made by people. Quote, artificial meat stops cruelty to animals, is better for the environment, could be safer and more efficient and even healthier. See, nobody wants to kill animals. People don't like the idea of most people don't like the idea of abusing and killing animals. They just think it's some kind of necessary thing that has to be done, and that is wrong. We have no need for animal meat. Like, all this is so unnecessary. If people would just realize that we don't need meat, we don't need to eat animals, we don't need to eat flesh to be healthy, and we are actually healthier if we don't eat it. So all these efforts and money, you know, it's an interesting research, but it's really a huge waste, and it's not helping people become healthier. In vitro lab-grown meat is not nutritious, and we have no need for it. We need vitamin C. We need this stuff. We need dietary fiber and vitamin C. We don't need in vitro meat. Animal welfare groups are generally in favor of the production of in vitro meat because it does not have a nervous system and therefore cannot feel pain. True. Reactions of vegetarians to in vitro meat may vary. Independent inquiries may be set up by certain governments to create a degree of standards for in vitro meat. Laws and regulations on the proper creation of in vitro meat products would have to be modernized to adapt to this newer food product. Some societies may decide to block the creation of in vitro meat for the good of the people. Some societies may decide to block the creation of in vitro meat, quote, for the good of the people, unquote, making its legality in certain countries a questionable matter. For the good of the people. What? For the good of the people, but it's fine for them to eat cholesterol-laden, hormone-laden, conventional meat. In vitro meat needs technically sophisticated production methods to make it harder for communities to produce food self-sufficiently and potentially increasing dependence on global food corporations. Ah, that's where it is. Some people are bitter about relying on global corporations for food. I guess some people want to be able to continue to slaughter pigs in their own backyard. I don't know. Religion. Jews disagree whether in vitro meat will be kosher. It's not kosher. This dead animal is not kosher. Economic. The production of in vitro meat is currently very expensive. In 2008, it was about $1 million for a piece of beef weighing 250 grams. Grams. That's probably much lighter than this cantaloupe. Maybe somewhere in between here and here, 250 grams. And $1 million for that. $1 million to create a little bitty piece of weird lab meat that nobody needs. Nobody needs to eat this stuff. And look at how much money is being spent trying to make it. Wow. And it would take considerable investment to switch to large-scale production. Considerable investment. I mean, the more I read about it, the more it doesn't even sound worth it. Except for the fact that we're saving billions of animal lives. That's the only thing I like about it. However, the in vitro meat consortium has estimated that with improvements to current technology, there could be considerable reductions in the cost of in vitro meat. They estimate that it could